I am here to recap the WWE Tuesday Night SmackDown Live results for August 16th, 2016, as well as Monday Night Raw, August 15th, 2016 edition. I'm also here to take a few of your questions live on the air, talk a little bit about something called SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which I actually got tickets to, and WWE 2K17. So let's not waste any time. If you've been here before, you know the deal. You can leave a comment below. Hit us up on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. Please feel free to like and share this video. If you're listening on demand on SoundCloud, on Google Play, on iTunes, please feel free to share and rate this podcast. All right, enough plugs. Now, time for the show. We had John Cena and Alberto Del Rio as our main event. I've seen that match before a few times. This one was pretty good, but went a little long. Hard to really care about Alberto Del Rio these days, which is pretty damn sad because he's a great worker. He's a guy that could have been a top babyface, probably should have been a top babyface when he came back last year. They hyped the fact that he took out John Cena for 9 months and beat him for the U.S. title in his return, which is great, but then he proceeded to lose to Kalisto and Zack Ryder and a bunch of other geeks. So, they had a competitive match, nothing we haven't seen before. If you guys actually want to go back and watch old Del Rio and John Cena matches, I don't know if you would want to do that. I don't know why you would. But if you do, go on the WWE Network. If you watch their match from Night of Champions 2011 and their I believe it was the Last Man Standing match. Last Man Standing match, Vengeance 2011. Those matches were pretty damn awesome. So they have had some great matches before, but man, I've seen this so many times the last 5 years, and they have just used and abused poor Alberto Del Rio. Spoiler alert, he lost. AJ Styles was at ringside. After the match, AJ Styles hit him with a phenomenal forearm. He cut a good promo, and John Cena said, "Your passion is going to swallow you whole." And afterwards, "I'm going to be the face that runs this place." He was exiting the ring, but no. AJ got greedy. He wanted a Styles clash. Setting up for a Styles clash. Cena reversed. Hit the AA, but that wasn't enough. Cena went to the announcer's table, ripped up the announcer's table, hit an AA off the steps, threw the announcer's table on AJ Styles. Holy doodle squat. So, based on traditional WWE booking, I could come to the conclusion that the following is most likely going to happen. Pardon me while I take a sip of my water. I've been losing my voice today. Water with lemon. Good stuff. I guess AJ's going to beat Cena. I guess Rusev is somehow, someway going to beat Roman Reigns. I think Ambrose is retaining the title over Dolph Ziggler. And I hate to say it, but I think Seth Rollins is beating Finn Balor. Now, some of you may say, well, how do you come to that conclusion? Well, traditional WWE booking is usually as follows. Whoever gets the upper hand at the end of a show, the go-home show before a pay-per-view, usually loses. Now, there are some exceptions. There's guys like John Cena. There's guys like The Undertaker throughout history. Triple H is a good example of that. But for the most part, traditionally, the guy that gets the upper hand usually loses. Look how many times people kicked Seth Rollins' ass all throughout 2015, always retained the title. Look at that time that Ryback was dominating and kicking CM Punk's ass. CM Punk retained the title. Let's go back to some more recent examples. Last year, when Kevin Owens was kicking ass on a tear, he needed to beat John Cena last year around this time. He needed to. He lost already. He had lost to Finn Balor. He needed to beat John Cena. So what happens? The only logical thing, and when I say logical, I mean illogical. He lost. Bray Wyatt, same thing. Made perfect sense for him to beat John Cena. What happens? Engaged in a horrible feud with Cena, and at the end, lost. AJ Styles, he's in the same position as Bray Wyatt. He's in the same position as Kevin Owens the last couple of years. He needs to win this match, and this time, there is no excuse. John Cena is going to film American Grit Season 2. He's got a bunch of projects on the side. This dude can afford one loss. One loss. And I think he should lose clean in the middle of the ring. That's what I think. Is that going to happen? Not too sure. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Cena wins, but really I think it's a waste. You're paying AJ Styles all this money. You've already beaten him way too many times. Chris Jericho shouldn't have even beaten that guy once, or should have only beaten him once. The fact that he beat him at WrestleMania made no sense. Roman beat him twice, and honestly, while those were two phenomenal matches, no pun intended, looking now where Roman Reigns is at, and granted, Roman Reigns wasn't the main event of Raw and everything, but the guy has definitely been demoted. And AJ Styles could have captured a title, could have been strong with the club, could have feuded with John Cena for the title. This would have been an amazing title program at SummerSlam, but no, instead you just are gonna blow it off here, which, look, I'm fine with to some extent. And while I did enjoy the fact that Enzo and Cass were elevated by John Cena and AJ Styles, in reality, looking back, it makes no sense why AJ Styles was the one that got pinned in that 6-man tag last month at Battleground. And it will make even less sense if AJ loses to Cena, because let's say Dean wins. Or Dolph wins. And it would make and look, here's a scenario that makes sense. Dolph beats Dean, and then Dolph faces AJ because Dolph pinned AJ to earn the title shot at SummerSlam in the first place. Now, what are they going to do? Have AJ lose to Cena and then qualify, kind of like he did after WrestleMania, where he lost to Chris Jericho and then just pinned Chris Jericho the next night? Not really feeling that. So hopefully, they do the right thing and AJ Styles wins. That being said, no matter who wins, they did way too much post-match. Seriously. Phenomenal forearm. The promo was enough. Even Cena giving AJ an AA, that was enough. But the AA through a table, and then they just casually sign off. SummerSlam this Sunday. Remember when a table bump used to mean something, especially on the announcer's table? Now it's just, signing off. SummerSlam. Woo! Times have changed, and not necessarily in a good way. We had Dean Ambrose beat Eric Rowan. We had Becky Lynch and Carmella beat Natalya and Alexa Bliss. Earlier in the show, Ava Marie was supposed to come out. Naomi did this awesome entrance where she's in this weird Rubik's Cube looking jumpsuit, and she was dancing, glowing all over the place. She's officially a babyface now. And they did the whole Ava Marie intro. And then Ava Marie's match has been delayed due to traffic. Later on, during this tag match, she appeared. Naomi chased her away. Becky hit the disarmer on Natalya and got the win. So Becky Lynch and Carmella actually got a significantly better reaction than the previous weeks. I think it's mostly due to Becky Lynch and Natalya. They defeated Natalya and Alexa Bliss. And at SummerSlam, it's going to be Naomi, Carmella, and Becky Lynch against Ava Marie, Natalya, and Alexa Bliss, which should be a lot of fun and possibly Botchamania worthy, given some of the people who are involved, mainly Ava Marie. We had Heath Slater earn a SmackDown contract. Finally. But here's what happened. He had to face the Viper Randy Orton, and he had to beat the Viper Randy Orton. Now, it's not what you think. Yes, he beat Randy Orton via disqualification, but he got absolutely, positively destroyed. But hey, he got a contract, and now he could feed his 2 or 3 or 4 or 7 kids. Damn, he's got more kids than Travis Henry, man. We had American Alpha, Usos, and the Hype Bros defeat Breezango, the Vaudevillains, and the Ascension. This was just organized chaos. I know it's an oxymoron, but that's the best phrase I could come up with to describe this match. It was a match. It was all right. It was all over the place, but American Alpha looked good, and that's all that matters. Kurt Hawkins is coming back, and they're doing this video package to his old theme song where it says, like, fact, Kurt Hawkins can count to infinity. Fact, I think Kurt Hawkins strongly dislikes mustard. Essentially, for any longtime fans that remember Matt Hardy's old Mattitude gimmick, that's essentially what he's doing. He's doing a hybrid of the Matt Hardy Mattitude gimmick and the Tyson Kidd fact gimmick. Look, I saw Kurt Hawkins a few times live in the indies when he got released by WWE. I'm not going to sit here and say he's one of the best wrestlers in the world or anything like that, but he's a pretty damn good wrestler. Okay, he's got this smug attitude about him. I guess this is a good gimmick for him, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm a longtime fan, but Matt Hardy back in the day did that gimmick so great. No offense to Kurt Hawkins, he ain't Matt Hardy. That's all I gotta say. Then again, a lot of people aren't Matt Hardy. Shout out to Broken Matt Hardy, who's killing it in TNA these days. And let's see, we had Bray Wyatt cross paths with Randy Orton backstage. Yeah, that was interesting. So some foreshadowing for the next pay-per-view. And we opened the show with a kick-ass Miz TV segment where Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler were to be interviewed by The Miz. They essentially came out, talked over to Miz. They told him to shut up. Miz just kind of stood in the background with Maurice. And Ambrose said normally he can't stand Miz's voice, but at SummerSlam this weekend, he doesn't need to talk. He's going to make his point in the ring. Miz tried to separate them. Ziggler told Miz to shut up. And Dolph Ziggler said that he was going to kick Dean Ambrose's face off his head. And they go back and forth a little bit, and Ziggler said, "You know what? You're right. You're right about me saying I used the politics and the BS and me getting passed over and all my bad luck as fuel. I use it as fuel. What do you want from me, Dean? Is that what you want me to say? You're right." And then he went on this epic promo. He said that he said that Dean Ambrose is going to have to admit that it was the lunatic fringe himself that gave him the final push to finally win the big one and win the world title. And Ambrose said, "You know what? That's really powerful stuff, Seth. That's really powerful. But guess what? You beat me. The critics don't get silenced. You got a big target on your back." And he kept going on and on. And then he essentially ethered Ziggler. At least I thought he ethered him, right? For any rap fans that get that reference. So then, Dolph Ziggler with the Blueprint 2 just totally went off. He got pissed off at the fact that Ambrose said that he doesn't respond well to pressure, that he's going to lose and he's going to be the star of his own little crappy movie. And Ziggler said, "You know what? You think you know me, but you don't know a damn thing about me." And he said Ambrose is going to have to dig down deeper than he's ever dug before. He's going to be looking for one last move, and then wham! He super kicks Dean Ambrose in the face. Now, Dean's delivery was significantly better than mine. I'm just giving you the cliff notes here. I would strongly recommend going on WWE's YouTube channel, checking out this segment. These two had some awesome mic work. That was the best Dolph Ziggler I have ever seen on the mic, and it's not even close. He said, I think he closed it with, he kicked Dean Ambrose, and then he said on Sunday, "You're going to see why I'm that damn good." Now, granted, that is Triple H's old catchphrase, but it suits Dolph. And listen, if you're going to lend Matt Hardy's 2003 gimmick to Kurt Hawkins, then you know what? You could lend Triple H's 2000 catchphrase to Dolph Ziggler. This was awesome. Much respect to both men. They brought it. This whole episode of SmackDown, including the Randy Orton Brock Lesnar video package, including during the break, which they showed footage of Apollo Crews taking out The Miz, this got me hyped for SummerSlam. This whole episode of SmackDown got me more hyped for SummerSlam than all 3 hours of Raw. So, well done, SmackDown Live. Am I going to sit here and say it was a great show? No, it wasn't. It was all right. It was an easy show to watch that breezed by in 2 hours. So, respect to the SmackDown Live crew. They did their thing. Unfortunately, I can't say the same for Monday Night Raw, but before we get to my thoughts on Raw, I want to play you guys a simulation I did on WWE 2K16 of Dolph Ziggler and Dean Ambrose. Which one will walk out as champion? Well, we'll find out Sunday, but WWE 2K16 has something to say about that. I want to hear from you. Do you agree with this result? Do you disagree? Check it out and let me know. What's up, everybody? This is Fred Ricciani of TSC Gaming, here to predict the SummerSlam WWE title match between Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler via WWE 2K16. Will Dolph Ziggler finally win the big one? He is a 2-time world champion, but the first world title was awarded to him that he lost 11 minutes later. and the other one was via a cash-in, and that other reign was very short-lived. This will be the first time that Dolph Ziggler, through possibly no controversy, no malarkey, can call himself a world champion. And here we go. These two lock up. Oh, man, Dean Ambrose out-wrestling the Kent State Hall of Famer Dolph Ziggler. Are you kidding me? Playing a little dirty. We actually get a bit of a clean break here. And Dean Ambrose now with the hammerlock, showcasing some wrestling. This lunatic fringe is the gentleman's fringe today, I guess. And Dean Ambrose with a big back body drop. Enough wrestling. Now it's time to kick and punch and elbow Ziggler. These two guys just don't like each other at all. But, oh, an arm drag by Dolph Ziggler on Ambrose. And Ziggler now looking to go for a DDT. Sends Ambrose to the outside. Remember, the champion can retain on a countout. Ugh, these guys, bad blood all over the place. And Dolph Ziggler showing off a little bit. We've seen his serious side. Runs back to the ring to break the count. Dean Ambrose now back in the ring to break the count. Suplex by Dolph Ziggler. Oh, vicious punches by Ziggler. Beating on Ambrose to the corner, but wait. Ambrose is firing back. What's he going for here? Could it be the Tornado DDT? Yes, and he hits it. Jawbreaker by Ziggler. Ziggler now looking to gain momentum, but no. Dean Ambrose fires with a suplex of his own. And now just raining punches. Nothing fancy about that offense. Going for a dirty deeds again. But Dolph Ziggler reverses into a suplex. Can he get the cover? One. Just a 1 count for the challenger. And a knee to the head. And Ziggler now working on the arm. Actually being a wrestler. This is very smart because if Dean Ambrose's arm is injured, he might not be able to lock in the dirty deeds. But wait. Dean Ambrose hits the headlock driver. That's his old finishing maneuver that used to be known as the dirty deeds. Can he get the pin? But Dolph Ziggler kicks out at 2. Dean Ambrose beat a lot of guys with that move. Very impressive by Dolph. But wait. Both are on the apron. What the hell's going on here? Uh-oh. Don't do this, Dean. DDT on the apron, the hardest part of the ring. Dolph Ziggler now is stunned. He's back to his feet. But can he get back in the ring in time before being counted out? Remember, the champion retains on a count out. Can Dolph Ziggler get back in the ring? And he gets back in the ring. Suplex, German suplex by Dolph Ziggler. And elbows. And another. And another. Is he going for it again? And another. And another. Holy doodle squat. He is just terrorizing Dean Ambrose's chest with elbows. And unlike Roman Reigns, he doesn't have a bulletproof vest. Dolph showing off a little bit. That may backfire. Hits the elbows. Going for the pin. Ambrose kicks out. It's going to take more than that to beat the champ. But wait. Dolph locks in the sleeper. We haven't seen him use this move in years. Is Dolph Ziggler going to do it? Oh my goodness. It looks like Dean Ambrose has passed out. And we have ourselves a brand new world champion. And his name is Dolph Ziggler. What a huge upset. So, Dolph Ziggler won in that WWE 2K16 simulation. Keep in mind, all I did was put the computers against each other. I did not play as either guy. Will it happen? Who knows? We have not seen Dolph Ziggler bust out the sleeper hold in years. I can't remember the last time. I think it was in a match against Kane. Maybe being Kane with the sleeper hold, but he happened to bust it out in 2K16. Of course, he's busted out the super kick lately. You know, we also haven't seen the zigzag in a while, although that wasn't exactly the best-looking move at all. I'll say this. I'm happy for Ziggler. I think he's done a damn good job of building himself. I think WWE, in the short amount of time they've had, have done a damn good job of rebuilding him. I felt like the crowd was more behind Ambrose this time around. I kind of feel like Dolph Ziggler should not only lose this match, but turn heel. Because if he just loses, and he's still a babyface, to me, there's really no coming back from this. But if he loses and turns heel and goes crazy and maybe say eventually wins the Intercontinental title and gets back in title contention, yeah, you know, I could see that happening. I could see him gaining momentum. I could see him getting over that way too. So we'll see. But he's done a damn good job, and I'm happy that the super kick, at least on SmackDown, is back to being a finisher. Nothing against the Young Bucks. Different promotion, different style, whatever. I'm talking in the context of WWE. It is nice to see the super kick that used to be Shawn Michaels' finisher go back to being used as well. A finisher. Well done, Dolph. Well done, WWE. So Raw, some quick hits here. I don't want to harp too much on this show because I just did not like it. Ugh. Rusev came out. He demanded an apology from Roman Reigns. He said that there was going to be no Raw, no show if he didn't get an apology. Mick Foley came out, tried to calm things down. Rusev just totally buried him, said he's a terrible general manager, said he's a loser. Stephanie McMahon came out, and I'm thinking, oh, God, she's going to bury Rusev. But instead, she didn't really bury him. She kind of stuck up for Mick Foley and said, how dare you? Mick Foley gave his life to WWE. How dare you? So Roman Reigns came out, cut some bad jokes, talked about how Rusev and Lana are going to bump uglies and have some of the ugliest fur babies, which is really poor writing. Seriously, really, really poor writing. People are getting on Roman, but this is the writers here. It's just stupid. This is the best you could come up with. In what universe is Lana ugly? Can somebody tell me that? In what universe? In what universe is Rusev ugly? Now, maybe back in the day in NXT when he looked like a caveman, okay, but this dude's got this nice long hair, got the clean-cut goatee, got the nice physique, he's got the Illuminati tramp stamp. I mean, what's there not to love about Rusev? He's a good-looking guy, and Lana is stunning. Here's a hot take. I think Rusev might be more handsome than Roman Reigns. Now, here's Roman Reigns, after shaving his heel beard, trying to throw shade at Rusev, saying, oh, you're going to have some ugly babies. Well, listen, bro, I bet they're going to have some hot Bulgarian, Russian, American babies, damn it. Ugh. Seriously. At least Rusev is man enough to show off his chest. What about you, Roman, with your bulletproof G-Unit vest? Jeez. So, they got into a heated confrontation. Mick Foley said, you know what, Rusev, I can respect the fact that you want to defend the honor of your wife. You'll defend the U.S. title at SummerSlam, but you'll defend the honor of your wife tonight against Roman Reigns. And that was our main event. Ugh. Before the match, Roman Reigns got attacked by Rusev, got beaten up, and then afterwards, eventually, we had our main event. Rusev and Roman Reigns, pretty good, but it just went forever. Let me skip to the end here. Spear out of nowhere. Roman got the pin despite being beat up backstage. I gotta believe that means that Rusev is retaining. I mean, Roman Reigns has literally gotten the upper hand on every show. He has left every show since feuding with Rusev standing tall. So unless you're going to bury Rusev 6 feet under, this poor guy needs the win. They're still trying with Roman. They're still trying. And look, Rusev is such a great heel. He's such a great heel. They actually got some people to cheer Roman Reigns. But let's not be fooled here. Roman Reigns is not over at the level of his push. And I am so sick and tired and exhausted and fed up with sacrificing these awesome wrestlers for the sake of getting one guy over. Because you know what's going to happen, right? If things go worst case scenario for the Raw brand. If Rollins pins Balor and kills his momentum. If Roman Reigns just beats Rusev. If they don't turn Seth Rollins babyface. What the hell are they going to do? Well, you could go back to Rollins versus Reigns. Guess who's going to be the babyface in that one? I just hit my mic. I don't even give a damn. I'm getting worked up here. I just feel like this is all like a secret. I don't even know if it's a secret plot. Just a minor detour for WWE before they go back to Roman Reigns. Getting his redemption after his suspension. Winning the title. Becoming a 4-time world champion. Ugh. I hate to have to put this disclaimer out there every time I do a show because there's going to be some Roman Reigns fans that are going to get on me. Why are you burying him? Why don't you like him? I like Roman. He's a great athlete. He's a damn good worker. But his babyface character sucks. It's done. The ship has sailed. Turn him heel. Turn him heel. I'll say it again. Turn him heel. align the club with him instead of making the club the comedy club with the New Day. Have them be this heel faction. Call them Bulletproof. All right? Have him rock the vests and everything else. And have him run roughshod in WWE. He'd be the top heel in the company. He'd get legitimate heat. He'd get to be as big of a douchebag as I'm sure he wants to be to some of these fans that are booing him. And you know what? He actually might be able to draw some money for WWE that way. And he could build up a babyface like Finn Balor, who's chasing Roman Reigns, who has to go through his old friends, the Bullet Club. And, you could add some members here and there from NXT or SmackDown Live or whatever, just to kind of, stack the deck against Finn Balor, and eventually you could end with Finn Balor getting the big win or something like that, or a young babyface like Sami Zayn, whatever. But he would be a phenomenal heel. But instead, you're not beating the dead horse. You're just, I don't even know what metaphor to use. I don't even know what analogy to use here. It's like, I'm trying to think. I mean, putting toothpaste back in the tube, that's an old cliche. It's like trying to get Selena Gomez and Justin Bieber back together after they broke up multiple times, after Selena Gomez threw shade at Justin Bieber in the Instagram comment section, leading to Justin Bieber deactivating his Instagram. At that point, there's a point of no return, all right? It's like the Kim K exposes Taylor Swift party, all right? Kim Kardashian exposed Taylor Swift. There's no going back. You can't squash the beef. They can't just be out there to VMAs just waving like they did a couple years ago with Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift. That ain't happening. It's done. It's over with. There's no going back. Okay? Taylor Swift can't go back to Calvin Harris. It's done. It's over with. And that's the same thing with Roman Reigns. It's failed. He's failed as a babyface. And a lot of it is on creative, but a brunt of it is on him. He's not that great at selling. He's not that smiling babyface. He's not a guy that's connected. He's not a guy that's drawing numbers. Just accept it. Turn him heel. Push Balor. Maybe do a double turn with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns like you should have from the beginning. And bam. Raw will be in good shape. But no. Let's just keep trying here. You know how I know that they're going to keep trying? Because he shaved his beard. If they wanted to keep him, he would have kept that bushy beard and been this ugly, badass Samoan. But no, instead they want him clean cut. And they want him looking good. And they want to try again. And again. And again. And, I'm no Miss Cleo, God rest her soul, but I can predict, I can see a premonition coming before me in the form of booze and failure for the Roman Reigns character. But it is what it is. We had the Shining Stars beat the Primetime Players. I'm not going to lie, I took a bathroom break during this match. Just being honest. We had Sami Zayn defeat Sheamus after Cesaro distracted him. Backstage, Sheamus and Cesaro got into a pull-apart brawl. And Mick Foley watched Stranger Things Season 1, decided that he wanted to give us some nightmares of our own, and said, hey, Cesaro, Sheamus, you guys are going to have a best-of-7 series. Now, full disclosure, I'm a big fan of Sheamus' in-ring work. I'm a huge fan of Cesaro. I think these guys have great chemistry. I don't mind seeing them in the ring every now and then. But we've already seen them in the ring a couple times this month. And you're telling me that we're going to have to see him again 7 straight times? 7 straight times. And as much as I love Sheamus' in-ring work, I have to say that his character is directionless right now. And you can make the argument Cesaro's is too. But unlike Sheamus, Cesaro is actually getting superstar reactions. Cesaro is getting reactions from fans that say, hey, we want you guys to push him. We want to see him as U.S. champion, maybe even WWE Universal champion. So, Mick Foley, in storyline, answers to the fans, right? So he gives them what they want, right? which is Cesaro in the title picture, right? No. It's 7 straight matches with Sheamus. I like the concept best of 7. It started with Booker T and Chris Benoit for the WCW television title back in 97, 98, which was great. That was pretty awesome. But come on, man. Seriously. And at least back then, you had so much star power in WCW, you could say, all right, you know what? Maybe Booker T and Chris Benoit did deserve better pushes at that time. But you know what? Doesn't hurt to be fighting over the TV title, which, oh, by the way, was a mid-card title that actually had some value back then when they were fighting over it. What are Sheamus and Cesaro fighting over? What are they fighting? The U.S. title? The Intercontinental title? The European title? A role in the next James Bond movie? What are they fighting for? A role in the next Ninja Turtles movie? Just fighting for the sake of fighting. Okay. Okay, then. They're fighting for the sake of fighting. We had the New Day beat the Dudleys. It looked like there was some miscommunication between the Dudley boys, and it looks like they'll be split up. If they turn Bully Ray heel, well, I should say keep him heel, but turn him into a single star, or try to anyway, that'd be cool. He was great as Bully Ray in TNA. The problem is he's over 40. He's definitely heavier than he was in TNA. And Vince McMahon doesn't like old guys, and Vince clearly doesn't see the Dudleys as anything more than job guys. That could change, but that's what it seems like. And it's kind of sad. Well, I'm not that interested in the Dudleys. They are a legendary tag team. Last year, you could have given them like a brief tag title reign for nostalgia purposes, just to, showcase them one more time. Just say, hey, these guys are legends. They got to the mountaintop one more time, and then you know what? If you want to phase them out a little bit, go ahead. But I think this is just kind of a waste for them to lose in 1 to 2 minutes. Not cool, man. Not cool. If you want to phase them out, if you want them to just put over young talent, how about this? Put them in NXT. Put them on some NXT tours. Teach some of these guys how to work. They own a wrestling school. Why not? Instead of just putting them on with the New Day and losing in 2 minutes. You get a bunch of geeks to do that for you. You could freaking put the Ascension in there. I mean, not the Ascension are in SmackDown, but you know what I'm saying. Find a couple geeks. Take James Ellsworth or whatever the hell his name is, and the other guy that fought Braun Strowman, put him in a tag team and have him lose to the New Day in 2 minutes. So you have to sacrifice the Dudleys. I mean, come on. They're competent workers, and they have been around for a long time, and it's just the trend of showcasing these veterans, these legends as jokes. You get to a certain age in WWE, or you end up retiring, and more often than not, you're made to look like a joke, and it's not cool. Not cool. Dudleys are not retired yet, but still, not feeling that. We had Neville beat Jinder Mahal. Red Arrow was awesome. Jinder Mahal's comeback not awesome, but hey, somebody has to be enhancement talent. We had Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson beat the Golden Truth. They did a comedy skit earlier with the ring postitis. All I gotta say is, while Gallows and Anderson are really funny, this sucked. Nia Jax beat Rachel Levy, who looked like the love child of Yerple the Clown, who's a good friend of Mick Foley's. We had Big Cass beat Kevin Owens via DQ after Chris Jericho interfered. Jericho hit Big Cass with the code breaker after taking out Enzo Amore. This was not Enzo's best night on the mic, much like last week. His material's getting a little old. Not the intro, but the rest of the material. Sometimes it's best to keep it short and sweet. As happy as I am to see all these guys in the spotlight, especially Enzo and Cass and Kevin Owens, the comedy, man. I would like to see Jericho be taken more seriously. I would absolutely like to see Kevin Owens be taken more seriously. They did do a funny interview backstage, though, where they made fun of Tom, and they kept calling him different names all throughout the interview, which was great. Okay, we had Heath Slater. Oh, my God, this is great. So Paul Heyman cuts this epic promo about Brock Lesnar. Nothing you haven't heard before, but, it's in the epic Paul Heyman way. NCAA champion. All-time great athlete. He's going to beat Randy Orton. Heath Slater interrupts him and says, hey, man, I got a family to feed. I got kids. I'm going to challenge Brock Lesnar for a contract. I was like, what? So Paul Heyman laughed at him, said, this is a joke. I'm not going to represent you. You're not going to fight Brock. So he says, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Beast, Brock Lesnar. And Heath interrupts him again, gets in the ring, says he has kids that he's got to feed. Brock takes the mic from Paul. Says, hey, man, come here. You have kids? You're a dad? You got mouths to feed? I'm a dad, too. I have kids, too. I know how it is. Yeah, and I can sympathize with you. And he walks up to him, looks him in the eye, and he goes, I don't give a shit about your kids. And the crowd just goes, ooh. And by the way, for those asking, I'm pretty sure Vince or whoever fed him that line. I do not think he just went into business for himself. I mean, he could have, but I don't think he did. I'm pretty sure they told him to say that because if you guys remember a few months back when Vince cut that promo on Shane McMahon, he had some expletives, and Vince knew exactly what he was doing. So I'm pretty sure he got the directive from management to kind of have that, oh my God moment, like, wow. So he told Heath he could walk away and get out of this ring, or I can kick your ass because I'm getting really pissed off right now. And Heath, being the tough guy he is, tried to fight Brock Lesnar, got his ass kicked. Paul Heyman put the Heath Slater shades on for a second, threw him outside, and Big E tweeted hilariously that Heath Slater was playing the role of Conor McGregor on Raw, which is hilarious because they do kind of sort of look alike. And let's see. Oh, yeah, and of course the highlight segment. Oh, I missed one match. Charlotte beat Alicia Fox. This was not good. Byron Saxton reminded us that Alicia Fox has been in WWE for 10 years, and she still looks pretty sloppy. Now, look, it was a short match. They didn't have a lot of time. If you gave these girls maybe 5-10 minutes, could they have done something better? I'm sure they could have. But, yeah, just the irony of saying Alicia Fox has been here for 10 years, and then her having a bad match with Charlotte, and also getting squashed, which is unfortunate because she's been gone for a while and comes back just to get squashed. So afterwards, Sasha confronts Charlotte. Dana Brooke attacks her from behind. They teased dissension between Dana Brooke and Charlotte, but not so much this time around. It was a swerve, much like the show on WWE Network. And Charlotte tapped out Sasha Banks in the middle of the ring. They teased that her knee might be injured. This was okay. But my SummerSlam fervor, my SummerSlam excitement was quelled by the Demon King. Seth Rollins all show was looking for the Demon King. I don't even know if they called Finn Balor the Demon King in NXT, but the Demon King. So Seth Rollins comes out to the ring, calls out the Demon King. A fan tries to jump Seth Rollins, and the fan apparently bit a bodyguard, according to TMZ, or security guard. So he's being charged with assault. What an idiot. So Seth cuts this boring promo, says, Demon King, ha 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 ha. And then, believe it or not, in Corpus Christi, Texas, on a random Raw, 6 days before SummerSlam, we got Finn Balor's demon entrance. And the crowd, outside of a small pocket of fans that chanted, holy crap, and, this is awesome. The crowd went mild. And he did his demon pose. From the vocal minority, they didn't get a good reaction. It was just awkward to see because it's in Corpus Christi, which is nothing against Corpus Christi, but it's traditionally a very tough crowd for TV, a very tough crowd, and it showed in the segment. And afterwards, Seth and Finn Balor got a bit of a brawl. Finn Balor had a spinning heel kick, drop kicked Seth. Seth rolled out of the ring, and then Finn hit a dive on Seth Rollins and posed. Stood tall. And the only thing going through my mind was, oh my God, Seth Rollins is going to win on Sunday. I hope that's not the case. I hope and pray that Finn Balor wins. He needs to win. It's his first match as the Demon. But technically, in his first confrontation as the Demon, he got the upper hand. Which means that, based on WWE booking in the past, Seth Rollins is going to win. And, wasting the Demon on Raw. Wasting that confrontation. Wasting away my excitement for the match. Look, Finn could still win, but I have a scary feeling that they're going to have Seth win. And just think about this. On one night, they had Finn Balor pin Rusev clean and Roman Reigns, the guy that they built up for 2 years, clean on his first night on the main roster. They had him get the upper hand on Seth Rollins once. And they're going to go all the way to SummerSlam just to half-ass it, just to have Finn Balor lose? Have some grapefruits, to take a phrase from Vince McMahon. Have some grapefruits. Have some guts. Go all the way with Finn Balor. If he flops, if you get cold feet, if the ratings go down, whatever. You got a pay-per-view next month. You could take the title off of him. You have a 3-hour Raw every single week. You could take the title off of him. You got a pay-per-view the next month. You could take the title off of him. You got options. Okay? The world champion, unfortunately, in 2016, does not dictate good or bad business for the most part in WWE. It's usually the most pushed person, and at times, the most pushed person, the most hyped person, is not the world champion. Much like on SmackDown, it's John Cena, and much like on Raw, it is Brock Lesnar. So, if it were me booking, I'd have Finn Balor win. But we'll see. And I got a scary feeling that that's not going to happen. And for those asking why, well, I did simulate Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor for the WWE Universal Championship, So many damn championships. And I kid you not, there was no editing in this match. There was no tomfoolery. I'm pretty sure what happens at the end of the simulation is a glitch. But the irony of that finish that I'm about to show you is that I could absolutely see it playing out in real life. So that's all I'm going to say. Let's take a look. We'll be right back, and then I'll answer some of your questions. Check this out. What's up, everybody? This is Fred Berchani of TSC Gaming, here to simulate the WWE Universal Championship match between Seth Rollins and Finn Balor. WWE 2K16 right here is going to predict the result of one of the SummerSlam main events. Can the former NXT champion Finn Balor defeat the first ever NXT champion and former WWE World Champion Seth Rollins to become the first ever Universal Champion, aka Monday Night Raw Champion? Confusing, I know. We're going to find out right here. You better believe Seth Rollins would love to bring the belt, the gold, back to the Authority. Right now, these guys are looking to out-wrestle each other. Seth Rollins looking to bully Finn Balor. Seth Rollins saying that he's done everything Finn Balor's done, but better. But Finn now, in his full demon gear, looking to unleash some hell. Can he do so? So far, this match has been pretty tame. And Finn knocks him down with the clothesline, sends Seth Rollins into the ropes. Huge drop kick. It's all Finn Balor right now, showing his demonic mean streak. Going for a big slam right here. And what's he going to do? Oh, Seth Rollins firing back. Has him on the ropes, literally. Kicking him, big heel kick, forearm shiver to the dome. Stomping a mud hole. Maybe going for a double arm DDT. No, gets ringed in the arm by Finn Balor. Balor now going for a big suplex. Could he be going for a Bloody Sunday? Could he be setting up for the coup de grace? But Seth Rollins has something to say about that. Modified Fisherman suplex. What's he going for here? Looks like it's going to be the Phoenix Splash. Can he hit it? He hits it. But wait, he doesn't go for the pin? No, wait. Maybe he's going for the pin here. No. Look, what's he setting up for? Big kick to the head. Cover 1, 2. Finn Balor's got the ropes. Wait a second, ref. Wait a second. Finn Balor got the ropes. Seth Rollins just pinned Finn Balor to become the first ever WWE Universal Champion, but Finn Balor grabbed the ropes. I'm not the only one that saw that, right, guys? The authorities gotta be behind this. This is preposterous. Seth Rollins is a new Universal Champion, but not without controversy. Is this how it's gonna go down at SummerSlam? Let me know what you think by leaving a comment below. Tweet us, Facebook us, do what you gotta do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care, and don't forget to subscribe. Damn you, authority. Damn you, Seth Rollins. Ugh. And I could see that happening at SummerSlam. I could see some wacky thing, like the foot on the ropes, some interference, some tomfoolery, some chicanery that leads to Seth Rollins winning the U.S. title. Excuse me, the Universal title. Good God. But do you really want the first ever WWE Universal Champion to win the title via controversy? Seriously, is that the tone you want to set? Now, granted, years ago, 14 years ago, Triple H became the first Raw champion of the brand extension by having the old WCW title awarded to him by Eric Bischoff after he took the title out of a Samsonite briefcase and handed it to Triple H. But at least, that got heat. At least that led to a brief feud with Ric Flair, which led to the genesis of Evolution, which was a phenomenal heel stable. So there was some positive to come out of that, even though looking back, it's so wacky when you look at the title history of Triple H was awarded the World Heavyweight Championship by Eric Bischoff after he lost to Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2002, who had been retired for 4.5 years. Yeah. Also, fun fact, Triple H, when he was awarded the world title, was 0-2 in pay-per-views that year. 0-2 that summer. He lost to Undertaker at King of the Ring 2002, and then he lost to Shawn Michaels at SummerSlam 2002, and again, Shawn Michaels had been retired for 4.5 years, and then the next night, he got the title. Well, not the next night, the next week, because Brock Lesnar signed with SmackDown as WWE champion. The next week, Triple H was awarded the world title, which was so wacky. All right, let's go to the comments here. Lil loves MMA or anime. Maybe Lil loves MMA as well. Fred, did you hear the rumor about Bill Goldberg being at SummerSlam? Well, I know he's going to be at whatever was going on with 2K. I think they're having a press conference. Maybe they're having like a 2K listening party with Diddy and all that jazz. Not surprising. I mean, Sting was a part of the 2K deal a couple years ago when he first was going to sign with WWE, but he didn't even officially sign until maybe a week or so, a couple weeks before Survivor Series 2014. So I don't put much stock into the rumor that Goldberg's going to get involved. Would it be cool? Would it be awesome? Would it be nostalgic? Yes. Goldberg's one of my all-time favorites. He's one of the characters I originally got into when I became a pro wrestling fan. But I am not feeling Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. We saw that in 2004. I don't need to see that again. Maybe it'll get a better reaction than it did back in 2004 when the fans knew that both guys were leaving. But I don't know. I would like to see Goldberg back. It'd be nice to see. But Brock? I don't know about Brock. Maybe Roman Reigns? I think that'd be kind of cool. A heel Roman Reigns. That makes kind of more sense because the spear and everything. But we'll see. We'll see. But also, too, you run into the dilemma of if you bring back Goldberg, are you really going to beat him? If fans are going to subscribe to the network to watch him in one last match, do you really want to beat him? But the problem is you don't really have anybody on the roster right now that can afford to lose to him. I mean, I guess a guy like Chris Jericho could. That'd be fine. Chris Jericho could probably get a good match at Bill Goldberg in 2016, 2017. You know, as far as a regular member of the main roster, I don't see that happening. As far as a guy with a Brock Lesnar deal, I mean, that could happen, but I don't think so. I think it'd be a one-off and perhaps at WrestleMania, but we'll see. Who knows? If anything, I could at least see him going into Hall of Fame, but I know he wants to do a match. He wants his son to see him wrestle. Who do you think had the better show? SmackDown for sure this week. Again. Do you think Naomi goes to a lot of raves? She looked like she was up for a rave party. Who knows? I'd go to a rave with Naomi and her husband, John Uso, or whatever the hell his name is. That'd be fun. What do you think about WWE 2K17 and the roster additions? Well, let me actually pull this up. The roster, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, no huge surprises. I mean, the only real surprises I've seen, let me look here. I mean, everybody that you'd think would be in the video game is in there. I mean, the only people that might be mildly surprising, Bushwhacker Luke, Brian Pillman, Larry Zbyszko, Tatsumi Fujinami, but they just want some legends here and there that you can unlock. Let's see. The only people that really surprised me, honestly, Stardust, the Matadors. Yeah, the Matadors. They hadn't been on TV for over a year, even though they're now the Shining Stars. They're in it. And let's see if there's anybody. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow, but I think he was in the last game. Yeah, I don't think there's really anybody other than those people that really surprised me. I am disappointed that you can only get Nakamura, Apollo Crews, Nia Jax with the NXT Collector's Edition, which is $99.99. You also get some artwork and a figurine. But the good news is, in a month or two after the game comes out in October, you can get those guys and girls with the NXT DLC pack. So you don't just have to buy that freaking game or pre-order or whatever to get that DLC. So that's good. And for those wondering that have Xbox 360 and PS3, I actually think you can buy Nakamura and Cruz and Nia Jax separately on launch. I don't think that's confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure you can. And for those wondering, yes, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/TSC Gaming, or you can just search TSC Gaming on YouTube, we will be reviewing WWE 2K17 on PS4 and on Xbox 360, both versions, the old gen and the current gen. And later this week, I'll be doing a re-review of WWE 2K16, this time on Xbox One, because if you're an Xbox One owner and you're an Xbox Live Gold subscriber, you can get WWE 2K16 free right now. So if you have Xbox Live Gold, go download it. Sorry, I just saw a wacky DM I got right here in the mailbag. This is wacky. Do you think that Goldberg will challenge Shaq at WrestleMania? No. Looks like it's going to be a big show. He's mentioned that he's probably going to retire at WrestleMania or right after WrestleMania. I don't really want to see him versus Shaq. I think that ship sailed a few years ago. But him and Shaq in a tag team? That'd be cool. You know what actually would be cool? Big Show, Shaq, and Goldberg against the heel stable. If the Wyatt family is back to being jobbers by then, put the Wyatt family in there. Or reform 3MB or somebody else. Get some geek team and have them take on Goldberg, Shaq, and Big Show. That'd be a hell of a freaking match as far as the spectacle goes. Okay, what do you think? What do you think about the job that Daniel Bryan is doing as GM? I think he's doing all right, but he did a few media interviews, including one with IGN, where it's very clear that he misses wrestling, and that it's very hard for him to be at ringside watching these matches, especially not being able to wrestle. And he kind of said, you know what? While I did get that one test in New York that found something wacky with my brain. While it is a credible test, he essentially hinted that, you know what, just because it's that one test that may have found something in his brain doesn't mean it's like, oh my God, you definitely have to retire. And he did reiterate that he saw a bunch of concussion specialists and UCLA and Arizona State, and they all cleared him, and yet WWE would not clear him. So he really sounds like he still wants to wrestle. I think if and when he becomes a father, because I know he wanted to do some baby making, I think his priorities might change, and I think he might finally settle into a non-wrestling role comfortably. It did sound like he was, he outright said, it doesn't sound like he was forced to essentially be the SmackDown GM. Vince called him and said, hey, goddamn, you're going to be the SmackDown GM. And he said, okay. He said he was happy to do the Cruiserweight Classic, but SmackDown GM, he said that's hard, and Yeah, it does seem hard for him. Also, the storylines have been kind of nonsensical. So if you're Daniel Bryan and you're a guy that's honest and doesn't like to BS the fans, yeah, I could see that being hard for him. So I do feel for him. I think in some ways, even though he's getting paid well, it is kind of cruel a little bit to put him back on the road. And he was just going to start classes at Arizona State, and he was ready to move on. And what happens? You make him come back. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that. I kind of feel bad for the guy, but he's getting paid. He's making a living. Hopefully, he can settle into this role and other roles within the company and not have the desire to go back to the ring. Even if there's a chance that his brain heals or that he actually can technically, based on multiple medical opinions, wrestle again. I mean, he's done so much already. You mean? I would imagine if it's his wife, Bree and his family, they'd probably just want him to kind of chill out and just get the money. And I hope he just does. I hope he chills, gets the money. Very easy for me to say, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens in a couple years when his contract expires. But I think personally, he'll stay retired. You never know. Maybe he'll come back in the Indies one day, do one more match just to prove that he's got it, and then hang up the boots. Who knows? But I don't. He's not going to come back in the ring for WWE. That's for sure. What do you think about Vin Diesel versus The Rock? Yeah, The Rock called out Vin Diesel. He, instead of subtweeting him, he sub-Instagrammed him. He called him a candy ass, and without mentioning names, said his male co-stars are being candy asses and treating the female co-stars badly and being prima donnas. And TMZ revealed it was Vin Diesel, and they revealed that Rock and Vin tried to squash the beef on the set of Fast 8. Didn't work out so well, but the production crew did align themselves with The Rock. Are there better ways to have handled that, Rock? Yes, but you know what? When you're The Rock and you're the highest paid actor in the world today, and you're the biggest star in the world, you know what? He's been a nice guy for a long time. If he wants to throw his weight around a little bit and try to put a guy in his place that perhaps should have his place be put, then you know what? Who am I to disagree with The Rock? What do you think about SummerSlam, top to bottom? I think it's going to be a really good card. I really do. I mean, you look at the matches here. Brock and Randy should be pretty great. Balor and Rollins should be great. Ambrose-Ziggler should be great. Cena Styles, well, he's very good. Cena Styles will be great. Roman and Rusev, unfortunately, they did the match on Raw, so I don't care as much for it. But if Rusev can win, to me anyway, that'd be great. New Day and the Club will be okay, but I hope the Club wins. I have a feeling that Big E's going to come back, distract them, and they're going to lose, which just a waste. It would just be a waste of Gallus and Anderson. Look, the New Day can still sell Bootios and sell T-shirts without being the tag team champions. I'm ready to have some champs that are taken a little bit more seriously. Enzo and Big Cass versus Jericho and Owen. Should be a decent match. It's probably just going to be like a Raw match, and I would hope Kevin Owens wins, but I have a feeling it's going to be Enzo and Big Cass leading to Jericho and Jericho and KO feuding at the next show, and KO taking out Jericho before he goes on another sabbatical. Miz and Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews should win that one, but by WWE logic, since Apollo Crews took out the Miz, perhaps the Miz retains. Ugh. I like the Miz, but I just don't think he should be IC champion. Cesaro, Sheamus, best of 7. I guess Sheamus has got to win that one. Sasha and Charlotte. Sasha should win. Although she did just tweet at a dude calling him a creep for... This dude tweeted Sasha Banks and said, "Thank you for taking a picture with me." And Sasha instead said, "You're an airport creep." Now, if you don't know anything about Sasha Banks, she hates people that ask her for pictures at the airport. I'm sure a lot of wrestlers do. You don't see a lot of wrestlers tweeting about that. And while the guy might be a creep, I mean, who knows? He looked like a grown man. And if you're a grown man waiting at the airport to take a picture with somebody that happens to be famous, I'm not going to say I'm going to question your life choices. I'm just going to say that, maybe you should do something better with your life. I mean, look, if you're a young fan, it's one thing. If you have kids, it's one thing. If you're like military or whatever, it's one thing. But I don't know. I don't know. me personally, as someone that's worked on shows with lots of celebs and everything else, I mean, I don't like to ask for pictures. I don't like to bother them. You know what I mean? Like, I like to just talk to him. Have a conversation. Like, I once had a conversation with Michael Bisping. We talked about his DJing. He was really cool. I mean, the only celebrities, like, I don't know. I took a picture with Chael Sonnen once, but that's after I had a lengthy conversation with Chael Sonnen. He was a really cool guy. And that was after I technically worked with him on MMA Uncensored. So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not one for pictures and all that stuff. I get it. I get the whole autograph thing and everything else, but still, either way, no matter your feelings about that, perhaps you shouldn't express them online if you're a WWE superstar. I mean, hell, even Dean Ambrose said the other day, hey, it's about putting smiles on people's faces. And then here's Sasha Banks online putting a dude on blast for taking a picture with her when she willingly took a picture with him. If you don't want him to take your picture, tell him sorry. And easier said than done. I'm sure she gets a lot of creeps. She is a woman, and she is pretty small even by WWE women's standards. So I'm sure, you do get some creeps sometimes, and it can be dangerous for a young woman like Sasha Banks. But if you don't want an airport picture, just tell them sorry. No. But if you're going to say yes, just, I don't know. Maybe not tweet him back. Maybe just block him. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to be the reason that she loses on Sunday, but who knows? I could see them maybe deciding to go with Charlotte again. I'll say this. The last couple of weeks since Charlotte's lost the title, she's come off a much better heel. She's significantly improved her presence. I don't know what it is, but she's come off so much like a star the last couple of weeks. Maybe it's a new gear. I don't know what it is, but she's looking good right now. As far as her presentation, she really is. Minus Dana Brooke, who just, she needs an overhaul, that's for sure, and to get away from Charlotte. And no, it's not turning her babyface, that's for sure. John Cena, AJ Styles. Like I said before, I think Styles should win, but not going to hold my breath. And Carmella, Becky Lynch, and Naomi against Natalya, Ava Marie, and Alexa Bliss. I see Ava Marie somehow getting a flash pin. So overall, top to bottom should be a good card. They did tease Baron Corbin and Kalisto after Baron Corbin bullied Kalisto again backstage. Baron Corbin already just another guy, as is Kalisto. And yeah, I don't know. Some people were asking me if I'm going to SummerSlam. I'll tell you, no. Probably. Oh, actually, I don't know yet. We'll see. I'm leaning towards no. I already spent a good amount of change to go to NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So for those wondering if you want a live NXT recap or a live UFC 202 recap, believe it or not, I'm going to miss my first UFC in years because I'm attending in my neck of the woods the Barclays Center to watch Shinsuke Nakamura hopefully dethrone Samoa Joe for the NXT Championship. I'm excited. Going with my boy Victor Sosa from Figure 4 Online, my buddy Candace, a few other people that are going. So should be a lot of fun. But I got you covered. The next night, or the next morning, I should say, I will be doing a recap, a review of NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, since, of course, I will be attending it live. I'll give you a live perspective, and most likely, I'm going to be ordering the UFC replay, so I'll be able to catch that. Knowing me as the insomniac I am, I might just order it and watch it on my phone on the way back home, because I'll be on the train or on the bus, and I'll give you my thoughts on that, too. So, don't worry. We'll still have NXT coverage. We'll still have UFC coverage. It'll be a little delayed, but you'll be able to follow my live tweets on Twitter at Frederick Chani, at Sports Courier, and, of course, on Instagram at TSC News. And let's see here. Oh, and why would I not want to go to SummerSlam? Well, just tickets are a little pricey. Most of the stuff I found was really high up, and I like to get at least close to 4 level. And also, I'm kind of busy planning a bit because I just got word today that I will be attending the CM Punk UFC fight, his UFC debut. Next month, I'll be doing in-depth coverage of that live in person in Cleveland, Ohio. UFC 203, Alistair Overeem versus Stipe Miocic, and CM Punk versus Mickey Gall. So I'm very excited about that. I got a lot of planning to do. I got to see if I'm just going to go for the weigh-ins and the fight, or if I'm going to go all week and just straight up cover fight week, the workouts, everything else. So I gotta get the planning down on lock, but some big things to expect right here on TSC News. So I got you covered, guys. I got you covered. But yeah, so kind of busy. Also, my mom just celebrated her birthday. She's been out of town and gonna be dealing with some festivities, so it may interfere with my SummerSlam attendance plans. I'll still be watching it. I'll still do a live recap, but may get in the way of that. I don't want to say get in the way, but it may conflict with that. All right, we'll take a few more, and then I will head out. Okay. Which match will be the main event? Asks Kobe Hanshaw. I think it'll be... You know what? I could see Brock and Orton, honestly. I really could. I really could, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's Finn and Seth. I think that you should end SummerSlam on a high note, on a positive note. And since Brock technically is the heel, and he's most likely going to win, and God forbid Seth Rollins wins, you know what? I might put Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler in the main event. The problem is they're not perceived as the real main event. They have a few tough acts to follow, but if you really want to establish SmackDown and also promote the next pay-per-view in September, Backlash, SmackDown-only pay-per-view, then I would put them in the main event. Okay, do you know Jon Stewart's going to appear at SummerSlam? Yeah, he's confirmed for SummerSlam. Thank you for reminding me. Hopefully he doesn't interfere in any matches again, at least not any matches of consequence. Do you think that Finn Balor can recover if he loses? Yes, but, you gotta strike the iron while it's hot. That's all I gotta say. You gotta strike the iron while it is hot, and it's pretty hot right now. Okay. Can you see WWE doing anything to spoof the election in November with Survivor Series? Oh, God. Or in October. Oh, God. I hope not. I mean, I could see them doing something like they did a few years ago where they spoofed Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell. I mean, they have 3 hours to fill. I hope not. I hope not. Don't give them any ideas, dude. Are you going to watch Holy Foley, McFoley's reality show with his daughter, Noelle? I was thinking about it, and then I saw the stupid clown on my screen, and I just said, I might have to pass. This dude was on Twitter comparing himself to Scott Disick. Comparing himself to Scott Disick. Dude! Scott Disick's on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. He's the baby daddy to Kourtney Kardashian's kids. You're a clown. What are you bragging about? Like, my buddy sent me this note that this dude tweeted. And he's like, I've been working for 8 years, and finally, I get my shot. You're on a reality show because you date a chick who's the daughter of a famous dude. I don't know. Maybe it'll be a sleeper hit. But when I saw that idiot on my screen, I just wanted to turn off the TV. And I'm not a hater. I'm a nice guy. I'm sure he's a decent dude. But man, some of these dudes are just such. I don't want to say a bad word. They want this attention, and Brock Lesnar guy, and oh my God, I don't know. It's just back in my day, we had Vladimir, the super fan, who was just this nice, cool guy. He was buff and had his glasses. It's just he'd be this lovable fan. And ECW, they had the hat guy with this straw hat, and he'd always be chanting ECW, but he never took away from the show. I don't know. I just feel like these geeks try to take away from the show. I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being a bitter old 27-year-old man, but I don't know. I don't know. I want to give it a reality show to Lance Storm. That'd be awesome. Seeing Lance complain about everything. That'd be great. No, instead we got a clown. Anyway. Hey, I'm happy for Mick Foley. It's a good vehicle to promote himself. He's a super nice, generous guy. He worked with this anti-bullying organization that I used to work with, and actually still work with here and there, but, used to work with more. And he showed up, didn't ask for money. There were some celebrities that were scum that asked for money for a charity event. I mean, come on, man. And it's not like this is like Susan G. Komen or something. This is like a small charity that's trying to, help kids and, raise funding for after-school programs and stuff in the New Jersey, New York area. And Mick came, Had a smile on his face the whole time, shook everybody's hand, was super personable. I got nothing but respect as a person for Mick Foley and as a wrestler too, but especially as a person. But, oh man, that damn clown. All right. Jeremy Sasser says, I hope they handle the Finn Demon side better than they did Corporate Kane and Demon Kane. Oh, God, dude. Ugh, me too. You and me both. You and me both, buddy. You and me both. Oh, man. Let's see. Terry Allen Jr. says, technically Heath hasn't signed. I guess technically he hasn't because he's incapacitated, but I think he's officially part of SmackDown now. I could be wrong. We'll see. And lastly, what match are you most looking forward to live at TakeOver? Well, simple. Nakamura versus Samoa Joe should be epic. But, folks, I'm going to go out of here. It's getting a little late. I'm losing my voice. I'm going to get some hot tea. I apologize. My voice has been going in and out today. It's just been one of those nights, I guess. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about SmackDown? What do you think about SummerSlam week? Are you going to be in the area in Brooklyn, in Manhattan? If you're going to be in town this week for SummerSlam festivities, please feel free to hit us up online. I would love to maybe meet up with a few of you guys. Shout out to Julian Cannon, Keith Harris, and a few other people I plan on meeting up with later this week. I want to hear from you. Let me know. Leave a comment below. Tweet us, Facebook us. Do what you got to do. If you enjoyed this update, please like, share, take care. And if you enjoyed our WWE 2K simulations, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/TSD Gaming for more WWE 2K content. Until next time, everybody, as always, woo! Enjoy the matches.